brighter than light. He'll give you strife. He's Todd. He's tall, he's mean. He's labeling machine. He's Todd. Rides a motorbike. He'll tell you what it's like. He's Todd. Don't know what he'll say. He'll scare the kids away. He's Todd. He's Todd.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon. Shout out to Dan Cobb once again with the BS with Todd theme music, if you will. So it's been a long time since I've been on here. I took a lot of PTO, actually. And man, I went everywhere. I went to Hawaii, Fiji, Tahiti, Samoa. Of course, it was all virtual. But, I had a great time. In all actuality, I didn't do a damn thing. We are moving, though, so I do want to let you know the studio, the next time you see me, is going to be a little bit different. So we've decided to go country and found a place, a little horse property, and now it's a 2-horse town called Ramona, California. Where is Ramona, California? Hell, I still get lost going up there. So, but it's south and it's inland and it's in the vast mountains, hills, mounds of Southern California here. So anyway, the next time you see me, I'll be up in Ramona. So we've been busy moving and, you know what? It's amazing. All the crap that you acquire. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. And we're downsizing a little bit, and so which is a good thing. And one of my minds just let loose, so we got to watch that. What we're going to talk about this week, folks, is last week we did an episode. Last episode, what we did is we showed the attributes of how tough the labels were as far as scrubbing them and scuffing them and bumping and grinding them and all sorts of stuff. This week, we're going to talk about water resistance. All right. And the water resistancy, if you will, is very important in a lot of different environments. So even take outside plants. All right. Your PEDs need labeling. That cable that is running through the conduit systems, chances are it's going to get wet. You're going to need to label that. Let's say it's an electrical panel outside. That's going to get wet. Solar, if you're doing any solar, and yes, we do solar labeling, that solar is going to get wet. Humid environments. Again, there's condensation involved there, and you need a label that's going to withstand the water there. So as the folks that have been watching religiously, thousands of you, thank you, by the way. I think we just passed the 2 million mark as far as the viewers. Is it 2 million? Something like that. Anyway, y'all have seen this since really our first episode, and we're on episode 25 now, and then there's been a couple of weeks in between. So this has been here, and I'm not saying from a legal standpoint, don't put this on the propeller of your boat and think that it's going to last this long, but this has been in here for 29, maybe 30 weeks, something like that. And as you can see, I've got a flag label, I've got a cable wrap, and man, they're still going strong. And what I did over the course of my PTO, because I had nothing better to do, is I played with my machine a lot, quite a bit. And then I put some labels in here. And, one of the things in legal, are you out there? All right. HR. So they didn't want me to put live fish in there. So what I did is I went ahead and I took them out this morning, and they're sitting over there. But nonetheless, is that I did this a couple of weeks ago. And as you can see, all of these labels are on the inside. All right. And one of my mines just let go, so that could be a good omen. But you can see those labels. they're still very legible. All right. And they've been soaking in there now for 2.5 weeks, something like that. So I want to thank our prop department, me, for coming up with this. But anyway, it's a nice little demonstration of the resiliency that we have to water. With that being said, what I did the other day is I took the old GoPro out and I thought, what can I do to really test these things? And I wanted something that maybe could combine what we did previously on the previous episode as far as the scrubbing and the brushes and stuff like that. So I basically ran a test. And what we're going to do right now, it's about 8 minutes long. All right. Hopefully it turns out on the screen okay, and you can hear everything okay. But Kate, why don't you roll this? And this was done the other day. And I think at the end of the segment, what you're going to see here, I'm a true believer, and I've seen a lot of this stuff, and I've done a lot of this stuff, but this was a little extreme, and I was quite pleased. So, Kate, when you get a chance, Kate's in the background. She is going to roll.
Hey, everybody, Big Todd. In today's episode of BS with Todd, we're going to put these labels through a couple water tests. And, well, first and foremost, look what I found. We're moving this week, yay. And so as I'm going through a bunch of brother stuff, I found one of our old camo versions, not camo versions. And so we actually came out with these about 5 years ago, and still works like a champ. So anyway, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up printing a couple labels. I'm going to affix them in several different areas of the vehicle, and then we're going to run it through a couple of tests. So first and foremost, I'm going to print off the first one. Ready? Let's come on over here a little bit, zoom on in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to peel this guy. All right. And let's put it, I don't know. Let's put it right about there. All right. Let's get her on there like so. All right, now here's the first one. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to print a smaller one. And I don't want one that's 4 inches, so let's do, I don't know, let's do 2 inches on this one. All right, so we'll print this guy off here. And then we're going to put this on another area of the truck that's actually going to do a twofold, if you will, a little bit of heat and a little bit of water. So you can see it's the same label, just a little bit smaller. So come on over here. All right, we're going to go to this end, peel this guy off here. All right, so come on over. Look at that. All right, right on the old tailpipe. So I put it, I got a date on there right now, obviously. And we'll come back from time to time. We're going to check that out. So anyway, let's get on the road. We'll find a spot to put these labels to the test there. So come on, let's go. All right, so here we go. We're going to go find somewhere to put this to the test. And you guys saw before, I put one on the back of the window. I got one on the tailpipe. The engine's running. Well, we'll see how that one on the tailpipe does, but come on, let's go find somewhere. Now, beautiful day in Southern California, and I know that there's the snow stuff. The snow stuff. Snow stuff. And hopefully we don't have to go through snow stuff. Ah, looky there. You're a car wash. You know what? Let's try it right over there. So, I'll be back in just a few minutes.
and we're gonna run the wash through this. So be right back. All right, let's go wash a label. Now, if you notice, we got some brushes too. So this kind of ties into an episode I did a couple of weeks ago where I'm scrubbing the hell out of these labels. All right, here we go. I always worry about my mirrors in these things. And here's why. Hey, you know what? I probably should have put that label right back there, but I wasn't thinking, and I put it behind the passenger headrest back there. But once we're done with this, I'll get out, and because I can't see what's going on with the label right now anyway. The truck is running. I do have the label on the tailpipe. Oop, here comes the big guy. Well, we'll see what happens. You know what? I got confidence. I got confidence that both labels are still going to be on. And you know what? I may just leave them on for a while. We'll see how long these things last. You know, through all the California snow and the California sleet and, you know, the California rain and so forth and whatnot. I guess it would be some type of wind test too, if you think about it. Anyway, we'll see what happens here in a second. All right, let's check this out. I'm sorry for the camera bouncing all over the place, but we'll take a look. Now, truck's still running, so I want to check that label on the tailpipe and see what's going on with that. Oh, look at that. I gotta tell you, I'm impressed. Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever run their vehicle through a car wash. Now you got chemicals involved, you got detergents and soap and blah, blah, blah. But you also had the brushes going, and you had the water. But look at that. All right, let's go check that tailpipe. Let's go check it out. Wow, look at there. You can see that car's running. So not only do we got heat going, we got water going, detergent, so forth and whatnot. So anyway, hey, I'm impressed. It takes a lot to impress me, but I'm impressed. I think I'm just going to leave these labels on for a while on both the tailpipe and here. And again, we'll just see how long they last. So I got part 2 of the test coming up real soon. So we're going to go back to Casa de Guapo. And we're going to do another test here in a little bit. So I'll see you shortly. Hey, so welcome to test number 2. Now, we've already taken it through the car wash. And so one of the things I noticed when I was bringing in the trash cans is they're a little bit dirty. So what a better way to run a label test than to clean these things off a little bit. So let's go ahead and throw the label on there. Same label as I have on the vehicle, right? There we go. Now let's wash a trash can and then let's wash a label as well. So here we go. As you can see, I'll run it through there again, right? But we're still good to go. Label's not coming off. Let's run it through a little bit more. All right, folks, as you can see, it's one tough label, all right? And so I'm going to go ahead and leave this on the trash can. Again, kind of like what I did on the tailpipe of the car in the window, and clearly dated.
And we'll check back in from time to time. But thanks for joining BS with Todd, and I hope to see you on the next episode.
Hey, all right. So as you can see, the labels turned out really well. Yes, I'm taking the trash can with me up to Ramona, and so we'll it gets banged around and dirty and stuff like that. So we'll check in on that, as well as time to time. I'll leave the labels on the truck, and we'll check on those as well. So again, from a water resiliency standpoint, I think that's an actual word, resiliency. It turned out very well. And in future episodes, we're going to cover things like heat. We're going to cover chemicals. We're going to cover cold. There's all sorts of stuff we're going to do with these labels. So again, very important to have a tough label for the environment that you're in. What else? Man, I'm brain farting here. Can you believe that? 10:16 a.m. This is probably going to be a short show. All right. The beauty about pre-doing these things, these videos, is that they're just short little snippets followed by a bunch of BS banner in between. One of the things I did want to point out though is the new labels. All right. And just recently, Schaefer Nelson, shout out to Schaefer Nelson up in the Pacific Northwest, got some of our self-lam labels spec'd into Portland schools. So I want to thank them as well. The new labels, I want to go over them again real quick, is that we do have the self-lam available. And again, the whole idea behind this self-lam is to protect the printing. Now, all the labels we have are going to have the type of resiliency that you saw today. So whether or not you're using a general label, if it's a flag, if it's a cable wrap, it doesn't matter. Everything we have, except for our TZEN 201 and our heat shrink, is going to be laminated. The reason why we did this self-lam is basically to fit inside those environments that have the self-lam there already, and they don't want to break suit. So with the new flag, again, you can see the old flag here. These are now available and for sale at your local distributor. This is a very unique flag. As you can see, it's a little bit different. It's a slim profile, but this flag goes both ways. In the fact that you can do it this way. All right. You can go horizontal with it, or you can do a traditional flag as is. So I wanted to point that out, but I wanted to make sure to tell you that everything we still have, even in the new offering, is going to be laminated and water resistant, heat resistant, caustic resistant, oil resistant, gas resistant, scratch resistant, scuff resistant. Did I mention water? And we are UL rated. So again, check out. And if you have any questions on the new labels, let me know as well. I do see inside data centers, specifically hot data centers, down some of the hot aisles where some of the flagging itself is coming off. Not our labels, our competitors' labels. So again, with the heat resistancy of these, they're sure to stay on there until you physically peel them off. So keep that in mind. Another future episode, and Kay will go through this in a little bit, is we're going to cover our new direct thermal and thermal transfer. We're having a lot of interest in these, believe it or not. Even inside of the datacom electrical world, there's still manufacturing and warehousing that people deal with. So I've actually got quite proficient on this machine. Really not by choice. I was forced into it, but it's a great machine, and we're going to go over some of the attributes of that machine in future episodes, if you will. Tonight, I want to give a shout out to Chuck Bowser. All right. So I was talking with Chuck a little bit earlier on LinkedIn, and Chuck's got his own series of these webisodes regarding cabling. And Chuck reached out and he said, hey, he says, he's going to be talking about data centers on the next episode. And he said, hey, Todd, do you want to be a guest on there and talk about labeling in a data center? And I never turned down an opportunity to market myself. And so I said, sure, why not? And he said, what's your email? And he sent me a link. Well, apparently that's tonight. And, fortunately, I came dressed for the show. We're going to show you the details for tonight's show. Specifically about data centers. And I know Kelly Swift, I just saw her put something on the screen. So if you got nothing better to do, all right, Chuck is a great friend of mine. But if you want to see me again tonight, and I didn't know it was tonight, but you know what? I'm a trooper. I'm going to be on that show, and I'm going to talk about grid labeling and data center labeling and the pros and cons and whatnot, and where Brother fits into that. And we fit into that area and that arena very well. So we're going to talk about that this evening. And Kate, I think you have a link to Chuck's show tonight. I know Kelly put it up there. Or did you want to talk about the future shows? Anyway, if you can, Kate, put up, well, let's talk about the upcoming shows, all right? And then I'll show you Chuck's information after this. So January 28th is our Fire and Ice episode. This is going to be a good one. I know that it's tough to one-up that car wash bit, but, we're going to boil some labels. We're going to microwave some labels. I'm going to put a torch to one of these labels. So you're going to see the heat resistance that our labels have. And also on the other side, the opposite spectrum of the heat, we're going to show you our cold resistancy. Yeah, I like that one. So our cold resistancy. So we're going to freeze some labels. We're going to maybe a little dry ice, and it should be a good one because, again, there's a lot of environments out there that you run into cold situations. Hey, we're the #1 selling label in Montana and Alaska. I think we are. You know what? I'm going to say we are. But anyway, they love us in Alaska, all right, for the cold resiliency and in some of the cold states. And again, with outside plant or anything to do with cold environments, don't miss that episode. On February 11th, we're going to do an episode on the desktop here, the desktop pertaining to industrial applications out there. And I know it's generally people, you think of Datacom, you don't think of larger labels, but you got warehousing, you got manufacturing, you got shipping, handling. There's all sorts of areas that this particular printer will cover for you, both direct thermal and thermal transfer. So you don't want to miss that one as well. And speaking of Chuck, I think Chuck's information is up next, and we're going to give a shout out to Chuck there. That is tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, good. Well, man, I didn't know it was East Coast. That's even better. I can get in on here earlier and off earlier. So join us tonight, if you will. There's some information for you. Chuck's got a great show going on covering everything cabling. So I hope to see you again early this evening. As far as any questions, comments, concerns, I'm always here for some bad advice. I know that thing's getting old, but it's absolutely true. Man, I'm full of bad advice and full of BS too. If you want to get a hold of me, I cover the West Coast. I will be hailing out of Ramona, California. Next time you see me, there's my contact information. Mr. Jamie Brookover is in Virginia Beach, my counterpart there. Mr. Dan Cobb is somewhere in Wisconsin. Mr. Bruce Page is in Marblehead. Anyway, he's out on the East Coast too. You got Mr. Rob Dawkins in North Carolina. And then we got Mr. Craig Robinson, our glorious leader, who hails out of Bradenton, Florida. So with that being said, look, 1024, I had a nice little filler in there. So with that being said, I appreciate you every time coming to check out this episode regarding labeling. Please stay healthy out there. Please stay safe out there. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please reach out to one of us. But with that being said, I'm going to chime out at 10:25, a little bit early. So I appreciate it, and have a wonderful rest of the week. Thanks.